welcome back to the next part of FWA Frontline.
And introducing his opponents.
Well, I was leaving time for our ring announcer, Len Davies, to introduce El Ligero there. Obviously, he's going to wait till both guys get in the ring, and, well, we await the arrival of Ligero's opponent. There's that scary, scary security woman. Now, we talked earlier about Luna Vachon, who sadly died yesterday, one of the most scary women in wrestling history. Well, this young lady may be in the top 3.
I'll tell you what's not scary though, Bradshaw. What in fact is actually quite glorious. The entrance of the baby Jesus of British wrestling, the Rockstar.
And hang on, look who else is here. Look who else is here. That's that girl, the groupie, I guess, for want of a more respectful term, who by causing a distraction at Art of War, arguably won Rockstar Spud his match against RJ Singh. We thought backstage after these two look like they may be an item now. I don't know what's going on, but look. Spud's not even giving her a second glance.
It's love's young dream, Bradshaw, that's what it is. It's heartening. It's like Robbie Williams and Gary Barlow getting back together, that's what it is.
So the bizarre circus that is Rockstar Spud and his entourage are here. That security guard, and I don't know the name of that groupie. Let's call her, what should we call her? Spud Girl. You're an investigative journalist. Presumably you've been talking to Spud about this young lady. It's hot showbiz gossip.
Well, absolutely, yes, I have uncovered. I mean, let's face it, listen, I'm not into, as you realised already this evening, I'm not into tittle-tattle. I'm into hard-fact news stories, and I'm not into all this, OK magazine, Heat magazine nonsense that goes on, but, yeah, I mean, her name's Melanie, she's from Manchester, she's a big fan of the Rockstar Spud. She's followed him around the British wrestling circuit for quite some time. And, I mean, some people call her a rat. I mean, I think that's a little bit unfair, a little insulting. I mean, look at her. She's a very attractive young lady. I think the Rockstar Spud's done very well for himself.
What is she seeing?
Ladies and gentlemen, on my left, currently holding 20 points in the tournament, in his final of 3 matches, weighing 11 stone and hailing from Los Santos, Mexico, he is the Mexican sensation, El Ligero! And on my right, also with 20 points in the tournament, but on his second match of 3, weighing 9.5 stone, hailing from Birmingham, Rock City, he is the Rockstar Spud!
Well, Len Davies getting more than he bargained for with his ring announcements there.
You asked the question, what does this young girl see in Rockstar Spud? I'll tell you exactly, I'll tell you in 2 words. She sees the package.
I'll tell you in 2 words what she might see. Potential champion, because after what happened earlier on, RJ Singh now mathematically eliminated from the tournament. This is a great opportunity for either El Ligero or Rockstar Spud to take a commanding lead and be within just really in touching distance of winning the Flyweight title. Both of them on 20 points. The winner of this one, if they win by pinfall or submission, will be on 40 points, and that will be a pretty much unassailable lead.
Are you trying to say she's a gold digger?
I'm just saying.
Because she ain't messing with no broke rocker. That's Rockstar Spud. He's not broke.
Why don't you stick to your Kajagoogoo and your Duran Duran, or whatever you were talking about a few shows ago.
And he's fluent in Mexican too. Multi-talented, the Rockstar Spud.
So does Ligero go for that Arriba catchphrase of his, the crowd joining in, but Spud taking advantage. Spud was trying to communicate with Ligero, obviously not the best Spanish student in school. Or did he go to school? I don't know.
So let's work out the permutations. A pinfall victory for either El Ligero or the Rockstar this evening would put them on 40 points, and that would put them in pole position in the tournament. It would also mean, I guess, that Johnny Storm could do no better than tie at the very top of the round-robin table and earn himself a playoff should he beat the Rockstar in the last match of the tournament. I would be right in thinking that, wouldn't I?
Yes.
Yes, Greg, that's what you're trying to say, yes.
I think that's right. Ligero is trying to follow through, and well, look at Spud jumping into the crowd. He's so afraid of getting hit by this high flyer from Mexico.
All this talk of plants has really clouded your judgment. I tell you, you know, does that mean that Spud's a plant?
Oh, I'm not.
Well,
I'm
obviously
anymore.
a Spud is a plant, but you know what I'm trying to get at.
You're being ridiculous.
Are you trying to say Spud's a plant?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not going into this anymore. Let's focus on this match. You've said your piece. You're obviously completely blinded to any possibility, any train of thought that isn't your own. So let's just move on. What's the point?
I told you,
it's like having a conversation with a brick wall.
There's substance in a lot of what was said. I need to go back and watch it again though, because the crowd were drowning out most of it. They obviously don't believe it's a conspiracy.
There's an interesting dynamic here. You're right. When that DVD was playing out to the crowd here, some of them didn't really understand what was going on. Some of them wanted to get straight back to the wrestling. There were a small number of people though who looked
because they
as
don't
intrigued
believe
as we
it,
did.
Dave. They don't believe it. You come out here and have us believe that society today, people just go along blindly without questioning things and without asking why and without delving deeper beneath the surface. Would you know the reason why? Do you know the reason why they don't do that?
Fear. Meanwhile, we've got another attempt at communication
because there is nothing under the surface. That's why. You need to take things at face value is what you need to do, Dave. That's what I've always done, and look how successful I am.
Yeah, who do you write for again?
I write for Powerslam magazine, which incidentally, issue 194 is out in all good newsagents right now.
But, yeah, Powerslam, all right, I'll grant you that one. Who else do you write for? I thought you were one of the best journalists in the country. Presumably you're working for multiple publications, are you?
I don't work for the Daily Star, that's for sure.
I write for Fighting Spirit magazine, by the way. I just don't go on about it. But
I think it's hilarious and actually quite ironic that a man who writes for a newspaper that puts Big Brother on the front cover is coming out here talking about its conspiracy theories.
Let's not talk about it. You're obviously got some. I'm hitting a nerve whenever I talk about it. Why bother? I don't want to upset you anymore. Ligero backflip into the corner. Spud is looking confused, as well he might.
Well, we noticed the last time we were here for FWA at Art of War, the growing popularity of the Rockstar Spud. You know, the fans actually have a little bit of taste when it comes to that. I'll give him it, but Ligero very much still the fan favourite tonight.
I was going to say, I mean, you've got to bear in mind that Spud was against RJ Singh, one of the most obnoxious and egotistical characters in the FWA. Ligero's upside down again.
RJ Singh, who is now horrendously eliminated from the Flyweight tournament. I had him as my favourite, and I'm absolutely gobsmacked by that, I have to say. And the fact that Johnny Storm's still in it when he shouldn't be.
What are the odds, Greg, that a prediction you make didn't come true? Wow, I am shocked. Spud, meanwhile, is... Well, we seem to have come to a little stalemate here. Spud is trying to sneak towards Ligero. Sorry, come on, that didn't work at all. Rana from Ligero with that lucha libre influence that he's grown up with. Covered by Ligero, only gets 2. So we talked about what an opportunity this is. We haven't talked about what is at stake in the case of defeat. Obviously, Spud had another chance to score some points, but Ligero, much like RJ Singh earlier, would be mathematically eliminated from contention if he were to lose this match.
You can see the next part of this edition of Frontline on the FWA's YouTube channel now.
This is the resistance and we need your help.